Hello, hello, hello. I hope you guys can hear me okay. Let's see. Turn this up a bit. Can you hear me? Let me know if you hear me. I have a microphone. I don't know if it works, but I should try it sometime. Alrighty. I'm going to use some oracle cards today. And ultimately, I'm currently moving through some things at this moment in time that I'm going to do some inner work around. Sometimes people ask what inner work looks like or how to process things. And I got about 20 minutes before I have to jump into like another part of my evening. So I'm hoping this is going to be loud enough. I should have tried the microphone thing, but maybe next time. We'll see. Anywho, I'm going to do some inner work, and you're more than welcome to join me and follow along anytime someone's healing and you feel into what they're bringing up. It most likely is showing up in your life, but in some other way. And so it'll manifest a little differently. And it'll be like that with your true twin flame as well. Like when you and your twin flame are moving through something, you're always moving through the same core upset, but on the outside, it's manifested a little differently. It can manifest in their work life while it's manifesting in your love life or your family life. It'll just show up a little bit differently for the both of you, but at the core, you're working through the same thing. And so you will also find that with those that you are on the journey with, friends, family. Um, you won't make the same core choice as them like you will your twin flame, but you will recognize that there's a pattern coming up in the collective and it's manifesting in different ways for everyone. And so when someone is healing and you go within and do the healing yourself, you're all healing together. And you don't have to wait for something to come up to heal something. If you resonate with it in your heart and you can feel like, ooh, like, yeah, I understand that completely, you can heal along and heal your core blocks as well. So if that's something you're interested in, I do offer group coaching. And that is where we work through blocks and upsets on our twin flame journey. And it's a really great way to also connect with other people who are on the journey as well, because this can feel kind of lonely when you don't have people in your immediate like circle who are on the twin flame journey. You're just thinking you're crazy, but you're not. So anyways, I'm moving through some blocks and I thought I would pull some cards and move through inner work and kind of just give you guys an example of how I do that and how I talk to my inner child, because that's a question that's asked a lot, is how do I do my inner work? So we got 3 cards. I'm going to start with the first one. I'm using the Power of Surrender cards. Love this deck for inner work. Love it. Okay, so we have surrender to receiving support and love. Allow the love and support of others, and rather than trying to handle everything yourself, this can take the pressure off and simultaneously nurture you. So yes, this is something I'm currently working through, is asking for help. It's not an easy thing for me. And I think that tends to happen a lot in the collective of the divine feminine, because we have learned to take care of ourselves. A lot of us have been in survival mode. And so we tend to protect ourselves and feel like if something's going to get done, then we got to do it ourselves, or we can't count on people. We can't trust people. A lot of that stems from your relationship with your parents, predominantly with your relationship to your father. And so when you recognize that you're having a hard time receiving support or asking for support, this is also a block to receiving all of your good. So sometimes we'll want something and we desire something and we're claiming something, but it's not coming in. And we're thinking it's because we're not choosing hard enough or claiming hard enough what we want. But in truth, it's because you have a block to receiving it because you believe that you're not going to receive it. So in this space where I'm having, the card came up was receiving support, I do feel that, especially when it comes to like supporting myself fully in loving myself, or supporting myself fully in balancing. Right now it's balance. I have so many things going on in my life. I'm coaching, I'm doing choreography, I'm momming, I'm in my union, I'm doing inner work, I'm running business. Like there's so many things that are happening that requires balance. And I feel like I'm not supporting myself fully by choosing and claiming deeper balance with myself. And that means being present with myself. So I choose to be present with myself. And I choose balance here. And I choose to receive support from God in any way that He chooses to give me support. Yeah, I'm already feeling more relief in my chest. Yeah, I don't have to hold on to this belief that support has conditions. That's what's coming up for me is like, if I receive support, that means I have to give something back. But in truth, when you receive, you're giving all in the same motion. It's one energy. There's no separation. So as you give, you receive, and as you receive, you're giving. And so when you receive support, you're giving back to God and to yourself by receiving. And so I choose that. I choose to know that I don't have to give out of conditions. I can just give and I can just receive. And I'm safe. Yeah, this part of me is feeling complete here. So I'm just going to love her and let her dissolve into my heart chakra and become one with me. And then I just check in and see how I feel about receiving. Yeah, I feel really light here. Like receiving is my natural state of being, especially because I am the divine feminine. So it's like my natural state of being is to receive. And also it's my birthright. And so I can just relax into receiving love and support in any way that God desires to love and support me. That's another thing is having to release attachment to how you receive support or love. A lot of the times we'll go in and we love ourselves and then we're like, how am I going to get this love back? Like, how is loving myself within really going to give to me? And one of the things I've learned, especially I read it in the book, Twin Flames, Finding Your Ultimate Lover by my gurus, Jeff and Shalia. It talked about how you had to take God on as your ultimate lover and release expectations and attachment to how God loves you on the outside. And the more that I've done that, the more that God loving me on the outside is more than I could create a lot of the times within myself sometimes. And it's really powerful because it's like I just go in and I love her, and then God like quadruples that on the outside. And so it's really about trusting that God or your creator wants to love you full heartedly. But if we can't receive our own love or even go to God for our own love, how can we receive things on the outside? That's been the biggest lesson with having to heal around receiving support is then actually receiving it in the reality and having to release expectations on who it's coming through. It could come through a parent, it can come through a friend, it could come through an anonymous person, it can come through in any kind of way, in any type of way. And so I've had to really look at what support looks like. So far in my week this week, as I've been healing around this, it's like I've been working through support in my heart around just wanting to make more of abundance. And in return, I've had an abundance of gifts come in that has helped support my household. And that's been really wonderful because even though it's not in maybe the way most people want it is like in money or something, it came through in ways that I didn't have to like pay for it. And it was gifted to me in a very loving way. So I love that it like gives you the opportunity to really be able to receive in any way that God wants to give to you. As you receive, you're giving to God by receiving God's gifts for you. So hello, everyone joining. It's great to see you guys. I was just doing some inner work. I pulled some cards to work through some inner work and show you guys inner work. I do see that someone, Renew, I hope I'm saying that right, Renew, asked if I'll be answering questions. Yeah, I could totally answer questions. I'll probably be on for another 10, 15 minutes, and then I got to jump into a different task. But I was just on here. Renew. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I wish I could like talk to you guys like visually, but it doesn't work that way. So I'm sorry. I apologize. I got it. Perfect. Okay. Thank you. So yeah, if you have a question, I would definitely love to answer your question. I am just hanging out, doing inner work, which is important. I hope everyone is feeling comfortable and confident doing inner work. If not, definitely feel free to reach out and look at booking an intro session, and I can work with you personally and help personalize you moving through your own blocks and upsets. It's one of my favorite things to do is help people recognize their blocks or just misunderstandings that they have in their consciousness and help you align into alignment into that space and you aligning to your authentic self. It really has been one of the most fulfilling things that I've done for myself is doing this work and changing so many things in my life, especially coming into union with my true twin flame. So it says, I'm a twin and I did a lot of inner work. I lost my job in May. Actually, I wanted to ask if it's normal for things to fall apart that are no longer aligned. It was very toxic workplace. Yes, absolutely. It sounds like it was clearing the space for you to have the right job fall into place. One of the things I would encourage you to do is look at what were your upsets about working there, like what was toxic and how it made you feel. And I would invite you to mirror those things because even if something is removed and say you're still possibly running the programming or the subconscious thought process that created that reality, you will take it into the next thing if you don't heal it. So I invite you to really allow yourself to heal it and then watch you attract something that's truly in alignment with your life purpose. You felt happy and relieved. Good. Okay, perfect. So yeah, absolutely. And it will make space, but you definitely want to just feel into how those things made you feel at the time. Because sometimes we don't always move through those feelings about how they made us feel while we were there. And so really working on claiming your power in that space and just giving yourself all the love for all the toxicity that you had to move through and making a choice not to move through toxicity anymore in any type of way, whether it's a workplace or not, like recognizing what that feels like when you're in that space and then putting a boundary and saying no to that and not allowing yourself to experience that again, because that's just the lesson. And so if you can heal that at the core, you won't have to experience that kind of thing again in other places. I love that. It says, I lost my home, my marriage, but I gained freedom and peace. God is always there to show you the way. Amen. Absolutely. There's been many things that I have like lost, or ultimately it wasn't even being lost. It was like them being removed because it was no longer in alignment for where you're going. And so you can have gratitude for what you had and when you had it. But nothing's ever lost. What's truly yours will always be yours. And so you don't ever have to worry or even like think that you've lost it. One of the biggest things that I've learned on this journey is vocabulary. My friends are always like, Kanisha and her semantics, but it's very important that you recognize how important words are. And so when we speak certain things to ourselves, for example, I lost something. When you say it, you feel it in your body. Your vocabulary, your words is communicating to your body. And so it's in this vibration of you lost something, you lack something, you are missing something. And when we're in that energy, it's hard to attract things that are in alignment with abundance and complete and whole and full and yours. And so what's truly yours is never lost. It will always find its way back to you if it's truly yours. But ultimately, you made space for, what God had for you. And it sounds like you're trusting and allowing Him to lead you. And that's such a beautiful thing. And other than that, keep going, keep doing your work. You made space for your true twin flame to come in. And that's amazing. That's truly amazing. Okay. Right now I also wanted to ask if you got random jolts and experience of Kundalini energy. Sometimes it scares me when it happens. Not, I think once or twice in the last 8 years of my awakening. but not too common. I spend a lot of time moving that Kundalini energy through like creative work, through just creating things. I do a lot of dance, and so the energy moves pretty fluently through me. But I do know what energy you're talking about, and I didn't experience it too much. So you can sit with that energy, and you can use that energy. You can use it to create if you feel that like bolt of inspiration. Also think about what or feel into what you were thinking about when that started or when that occurred. And really just allow yourself to like be with that energy and transmute it in any way that you can. So yeah, you'll feel like the more that you focus on like how you feel in certain places, the base chakra really talks about like your groundedness into, because it's the closest chakra to earth, so your groundedness into the reality. It's also about your stability, your support, your security. All of those things are in your base chakra. So if it starts from there and it moves its way up, really feel into those areas of your chakra. And you can even look up the chakra and see what it stands for, but really ask yourself, because I find that happens like when I have like a pain in my gut, usually like in my solar plex or my sacral chakra area. A lot of the times it's like me not claiming my power, or I'm worried about things, or I'm not really being present with myself. And so when I feel into those areas, my body communicates through my consciousness of like what's out of alignment. And that's because I've spent a lot of time with this inner work, truly getting to know myself on an intimate level. And so that energy is meant to create. And when you can hone in on what that energy is sharing with you or what it's moving through as that Kundalini happens, you'll find that you'll start to have a lot more movement quickly because you're in alignment with all things. That's part of what the Kundalini too is also wanting to help you be aware of, is coming into alignment completely with all of your chakras. And so that's a beautiful thing that you're moving through that. Like that's just keep, I guess what I'm staying in touch with yourself, communicating with yourself, asking yourself, like, what am I thinking? How am I feeling? What is this bringing up for me? Having that intimate relationship with yourself is going to really help you manifest things into your reality because you're connected with source completely. I hope that answered your question. All right. I have one more card and then I got to jump off. So I have surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. Let go of limiting ideas about yourself that originate from the past. Then you can own your power and soar in your life. Yes, absolutely. So really asking yourself, what are your beliefs about yourself? How do you feel about yourself? What do you think about yourself? How do you talk to yourself? When you start being aware of these things, it's not to judge yourself, but it is to become aware of how you are talking to yourself continuously, because how you talk to yourself is what you manifest. It's your reality because it's your inner reality. It's what you believe about yourself. It's how you see yourself. And when you allow yourself to have that relationship, you'll start to see why things occur in your reality the way that they do. And it's because of what you're thinking and how you're feeling. And so the inner work is meant to help you move into a place of peace and move through life from a place of peace. Now, is it like that all the time? No. But the more that you do it and the more that you make it a way of life, the easier it is to live a more peaceful life than a unpeaceful life. And it'll become very clear where you're having blocks and upsets so that you can move through those things. Every block and upset that you ever heal helps your twin flame union. It clears that block within your union that you don't have to move through with your twin flame. I can't tell you how many times someone brought me an upset of some sort that looked like nothing to do with my twin flame. And then once I started to heal the core of it, I was like, wow, I see how this was playing in my union. And as soon as I cleared it, it was like the upset was never there. And my twin flame met me in a place of peace where we had been in a place of upset. So I really invite you to allow yourself to look at your beliefs about yourself that no longer align with the version of you that you want to be. This is something I'm always kind of continuously looking at and working through is like, am I really showing up as the most authentic and loving version of myself that I want to show up as? Or am I still playing out old patterns and beliefs because it's comfortable or because I haven't really spent a lot of time and work in this space? So I've had to truly create trust and honesty with myself. You'll find those two key components of harmonious union in the book Twin Flames Finding Your Ultimate Lover. I'm in this book all the freaking time because it is truly very helpful, especially when you have your perfect and divine mirror in front of you, mirroring all of your stuff to you. And a lot of it's really great stuff, and some of it's not very great stuff. So you want to make sure that you're doing the inner work and you're healing so that you can harmonize with your ultimate lover and live in one home and live one life with them, which is what I have been doing for the last few years. And now I'm finally in this space where I'm harmonizing completely with my twin flame. We're currently in this moment shopping for a house and talking about doing life together completely. And it's been truly amazing, but it required me doing the work. It required me showing up for myself, getting to know myself, really letting go of these old beliefs about myself that stem from shame, self-hate, guilt, whatever you could think of that wasn't love or above. And I always thought, like, I am never going to come into union with my twin flame because I have so much to heal. That is not the truth. You will absolutely come into union with your twin flame if that is what you choose. And I can absolutely help you with that. So if you need guidance and support on that, feel free to reach out for an introductory session to make sure that we'd be a great match. And I would love to help you move through those blocks because you'll see them shift not just your life with your twin flame, but your life in every area. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. Thank you for joining. Thank you for asking questions. I love you all. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving if you celebrate Thanksgiving. If not, you all just have a great week. And I love you all. Peace, love, and faith.